Good morning, all. This is the
Good
screen.
morning, sir.
Yes, the screen is visible.
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll start with the today's lecture. We have started with the B part of fluid statics. In this fluid statics, the pressure. We have discussed what is pressure head, and Pascal's law. Then different types of pressures: gauge pressure, absolute pressure, atmospheric pressure, right? And how to measure that pressure, that is using different devices for measuring the pressure. Now those are called as manometers, or different there are different again classification of manometer: simple manometer, differential manometer. Then we have what we say the mechanical gauges to measure the pressure. Then the technological technological point of view, we have recent pressure measuring devices. Those are called as pressure transducers, right? So this is this was related with the pressure in the pipe or pressure at a particular point. Then the next topic is little bit different from the first topic, that is total pressure and center of pressure. So this total pressure and center of pressure is related with again the static fluid. Now this particular static fluid will exert a pressure force, right? So that pressure force is called as total pressure. That is a total pressure, and the center of pressure is nothing but it is the location of this total pressure force. So now in this case we have to find what is the force. Initially we got the pressure, right? And now we have to find the force which will be exerted by the liquid, by the fluid, on different surfaces. So those surfaces may be horizontal surface, it may be vertical surface, inclined surface, or it may be a curved surface. So there are many applications or practical point of view. So where there are horizontal, vertical, inclined, and curved surfaces, where there is a fluid pressure or fluid pressure acting on such type of surfaces, right? And then we have to find out where exactly, what is the location of that pressure force acting on these different cases, on these different cases, right? So this is a very important part. There are many practical applications. We'll discuss today's about this total pressure and the center of pressure. Now, if you slightly remember that we have ended with the different numerical solving the manometers, etc. Then we have started with the discussion of this total pressure and the center of pressure. The basic particularly applications here are nothing but the wall of the reservoir, wherever the water is stored inside the dam reservoir, it is called as a reservoir of water. So that static water will exert pressure on the wall of the dam. So to design this particular dam, we have to consider what will be the height of that particular water stored, and with that particular height we can find what is the pressure or the total pressure of the water exerted on the wall of the dam. Then 1 second. Then there are sluice gates, which are called as the operational gates to discharge the to discharge or liberate the flow from the canal or different types of channels, or from floodgates. Those are called as the gates over the dam. Nowadays we will be seeing the news from news that the this much discharging from the various types of dams. So the gates will be lifted up and the discharge will be occurring. So these sluice gate, flood gates, to design these such type of gates, we require the fluid static problem. And then there are oil tanks or water tanks, right? And therefore, to design these particular tanks, again we require the fluid static problems. So here, these are the four different types of applications to determine the total pressure and the center of pressure. These are the applications. Now, the definition, exact definition for the total pressure. So it is denoted as F, or in some books you can find it is denoted as P. Total pressure force, it is nothing but it is the force exerted by the static fluid on different surfaces. So overall, if you get the resultant of those particular forces, that is called as total pressure force. So when that particular fluid comes in contact with the surface, so in this case the surface, vertical, horizontal, inclined or curved, so surface is always inside the fluid, it is always immersed in fluid, right? So over those surface there is a total pressure or force, pressure force will be acting. We have to find out what is the magnitude of that pressure force, and then further part will be the design part. We have to design the gates, or we have to design the dam, etc. So first thing is analysis part. Here we will be finding what is the force and where that particular force will be acting. That is called as the center of pressure. Now this force will be always normal to the surface. If it is a horizontal, surface, then the normal to this surface the force will be acting. If it is vertical, then normal to this the force will be acting. Inclined, normal to this the force will be acting. So remember, this force will be always normal to the surface, whether it is horizontal, vertical, inclined. Then center of pressure is nothing but it is denoted as H bar. It is the point of application of this total pressure force, or the resultant of the surface. So now first thing total pressure, and second thing center of pressure. With respect to these two aspects we will be studying the further part. Now as we discussed that there are four cases depending upon the position of that surface. The surface is horizontal, then the surface is vertical and inclined, and last is the curved surface. So now here it is shown that the surface is horizontal, right? So this is the free liquid surface, it is the surface of the liquid, then this is immersed in that particular liquid, horizontal surface. So over this the pressure will be acting. Now the pressure is constant, you can see here the pressure is equally, it is constant at every point on this horizontal surface. So if the surface is horizontal, remember the pressure will be constant over this horizontal surface, right? So it is at the at height or at depth h from the free liquid surface. So this is the horizontal case. Now vertical case. So on vertical case, it is at the top surface of that vertical plate is h1 height, and the bottom point is at h2 height, right? Edges. Now over this vertical surface the pressure is uneven, right? So as you go deep the pressure will be increases, the pressure will increase. So therefore at the first edge, that is top edge of the vertical plate, this is the pressure, that is pressure is given by gamma into h. Now this W here is nothing but it is gamma, right? It is unit weight of water, or you can say gamma is nothing but rho g. So the basic hydrostatic principle is nothing but the pressure is equal to gamma into h or rho g h. So here it is h1 height, so therefore the pressure at the top edge of the vertical plate will be gamma into h1. Then what is the pressure at bottom edge? So as the height is more, so here certainly the pressure will be more. So here the pressure will be gamma into h2, right? So therefore it is a uneven pressure. As you go deep, now if the plate size is more, the height will be more, certainly again the pressure will be more at below, right? So this is the uneven pressure distribution for vertical case. Similarly, third case is inclined. Now same thing for inclined. Now the surface is inclined, therefore normal to this there will be pressure acting over this particular case, inclined case. So same thing here applicable. The pressure is less as compared to the bottom edge pressure, right? And now in this case we will be deriving the equation. Now the derivations is very important. You can note down those particular steps. Those are very important in this case. So all these four cases we have a small derivation, and then with that derivation we have formulas to solve the numerical based on this total pressure and the center of pressure. Now the first derivation is on horizontal plane surface. Now the title first case is the total pressure on horizontal plane surface. Now see the sketch here. So this is the free liquid surface. So you have to show the liquid surface. Then at a distance x bar, there is a horizontal plane surface, right? And there is a centroid of that particular surface. So you have to locate the centroid. You have to locate what is the depth of that surface from the free liquid, right? And this is the free liquid surface. So this is x bar. At height x bar, the horizontal plane surface is particularly situated. Now consider a plane horizontal surface immersed in a liquid. Now when the immersed plane surface is parallel to the free surface, so this free liquid surface remains parallel for a horizontal case. So this is the basic case. Now let x bar be the depth of horizontal surface from the free liquid surface. So with respect to this free liquid surface, the depth of the surface is x bar. A is the area of the surface in square meters. So P, small p, is denoted for pressure. So pressure it is the intensity. Its unit is Newton per meter square. So the pressure will be acting over this area A, right? Now it is the constant pressure. So pressure, whenever it is a horizontal, so the pressure intensity will be constant throughout the surface of the plate, and the fluid density, that is mass density, is rho, that is kg per meter cube. So whatever the fluid is present here, its density, mass density, is rho. Now since every point on the surface is at same depth, just now we have discussed that at each and every point the pressure remains constant because it is a horizontal case. So the pressure is constant over this entire surface. So therefore what will happen, the pressure force F is nothing but it is pressure intensity multiplied by area, right? So force काढताना आपण काय करतो, we will be multiplying the pressure with the area of the surface. So that will give you the force. So force is nothing but pressure into area, that is P is the pressure, A is the surface area. Then F is equal to, so P, what we have got from the hydrostatic law, that pressure is given by rho g h, right? Rho g h. Now here what is h? H is nothing but whatever the head is available, that is your h. Now here the head or the depth of fluid over this entire surface is x bar, right? So instead of h, now we have replaced with x bar. So rho g x bar into area is now the equation or the force, pressure force or the total pressure over this horizontal plane surface, or you can write instead of rho into G as the unit weight as the gamma. So gamma A x bar. So this is our first formula for the total pressure on horizontal plane surface. So the horizontal plane surface, for horizontal plane surface, the total pressure is given by gamma A x bar, or instead of gamma you can also write rho G x bar into area. So this is the first formula for total pressure on horizontal plane surface. So the pressure is constant, therefore P into area will give you the pressure force or the total pressure. So total pressure is nothing but P into A, pressure into area, and P is rho G, H, and instead of H, that is pressure head, we have taken as the static head here is x bar. So therefore rho G x bar into area, or gamma A into x bar. So what we have to, when we have to find the force or the total pressure, so what things are necessary? The first thing is what is the fluid. So the type of fluid, that will give you the density. Then what is the area, what are the dimensions for the given surface, and the third thing is the centroid of that surface is at what depth, that is x bar. So we have to locate the centroid, and we have to see that how much, at what depth this centroid will be existing from the free liquid surface, right? So this x bar is nothing but it is the depth of the surface from the free liquid, right? So from free liquid surface to the centroid we have to measure, or it is the depth, that is x bar. So three things we have to get to find the force. One is the type of fluid, that is density of the given fluid. Then the dimensions of the surface, so what are the area, what is the area for the given surface. Then the x bar, that is centroid, so where the center of that particular surface is located from the, with respect to the free liquid surface, it is that depth, right? So same thing will be required for the further part, the further derivations. It may be horizontal, it may be vertical, or it may be inclined. We'll derive that part. So remember, force is equal to, total pressure is equal to gamma A x bar, or rho G A x bar. Now the second part of this will be the second derivation will be the total pressure on vertical plane surface. Now the surface is vertical, right? So here you can see that there is a spherical surface which is vertical inside this particular static fluid. This is the free liquid surface. Now just now we have seen that the for vertical surface, this is the vertical surface, the side view of the surface. So over this particular surface the pressure is uneven, right? So the pressure increases as you go deep. Therefore now here what we have done in the first case, the pressure was constant, therefore there is no necessary for integrating the force. Now here we have to integrate, right? So from this level to this level the force will increase, so that integration part is involved here. To simplify this, the integration is necessary. So here therefore what we have done, we have consider a small strip, right? So the hatch portion is nothing but it is a small strip over this given entire total area. This is the total area, and here now we'll be deriving first the pressure, total pressure on this strip, and then we'll be integrating for the whole surface, right? So now what are the things here? X bar, again x bar is what, the depth of centroid from the free liquid surface. So here G is nothing but the centroid of the total surface. So G, so x bar is nothing but from the free liquid surface, whatever will be the depth of centroid, that depth is x bar. A is the total surface area, P is again the pressure, and the density of the given fluid. Now here in this case what we have assumed, that we will assume a small strip, right, whose width is B and whose thickness is delta X. So this small strip is at depth X from the free liquid surface, right? And somewhere here, that is the P, that is the center of pressure. So here the total pressure force will be acting. So this depth is H bar, that is the center of pressure, location of center of pressure. So we have to find these two things, F, where the total pressure force will be acting, the intensity of total pressure force, and H bar, that is the location of center of pressure. Now this force will not be acting at centroid, exact centroid, because it is immersed in the fluid, right? So therefore here we have to consider the parallel axis theorem. Using that principle, taking movement, we have to find the force, total pressure force, and this total pressure force will not be acting at exact centroid but below that centroid. So it is at depth H bar. So two things we have to derive in this case. Now consider a strip of B width. So the hatch portion is a strip of width B and thickness delta X at distance X from this O dash axis, that is the free liquid surface. Now the depth of fluid varies from point to point. Therefore, the pressure on elementary strip, and we have to integrate on the whole surface. So here, as the pressure intensity is not constant over the entire surface, so therefore we have to firstly derive the basic equation over this strip, for this strip, and then we will be integrating for the whole surface. So what is the pressure for this particular strip? The pressure will be delta P is equal to rho gx, right? So it is at the depth x, so therefore it is rho gx, or it is gamma into x. Now area of the strip is B into delta x, that is delta A. So width is B for this strip and the thickness is delta x. So area of the strip is B into delta x, that is delta A. So total pressure on the strip, now we will be only considering the strip. So total pressure will be pressure into area, right? So the total pressure on the strip, that is delta F, is delta P into delta A, that is gamma X into delta A, right? So this is the basic equation on strip, that is the total pressure on the strip. So we have to integrate this same equation to find the total pressure for whole surface, right? So therefore for total pressure on whole surface F, capital F, is equal to integration. Now what are the limits over this? So the limits are from this particular point is at 0 level, right? So from 0 to how much maximum we have to go? We have to go to the centroid of that particular whatever will be the surface. So from 0 to x bar, these are the limits. So therefore integration of the total pressure on strip will be integration 0 to x bar gamma x delta A. So the above same equation, that is integration of this total pressure strip on the strip. So total pressure now here becomes F is equal to gamma A x bar, right? So the maximum limit will be x bar. Therefore gamma remains constant, right? Delta A is nothing but is the area for the whole surface A, and the upper limit is x bar. So therefore the total pressure acting over the surface is again gamma A x bar. In the first case, same was the formula, right? F is gamma A x bar for horizontal plane surface. Now in the vertical plane surface, it is again the same. Total pressure is gamma A x bar. So nothing formula is changed. The formula remains same. The total pressure remains same. That is gamma A x bar. Okay. So now this is the total pressure, that is F part we got. Then secondly, we have to find out this depth, at what depth this total pressure will be acting, right? Now for this we have to take the moment with respect to this axis O dash, right? So F is the total pressure, right? It is at distance h bar. So what will be the moment of this? So moment of the total pressure will be F into h bar. Now to this, what will be the second movement? That is resistive movement. The resistive movement will be this pressure. So the pressure, that is delta P into this distance x, that is movement of the delta P part. So these two movements will be equating, right? So here this statement is important. For plane surface immersed vertically, the center of pressure does not coincide with the centroid of the area, right? So here this F is not acting at the centroid, but it is acting at a different point, right? So therefore here the principle of movement we have to use. The center of pressure lies below the centroid of the surface. This centroid is below the this point is below the centroid, right? The center of pressure is always below the centroid. That is, remember this thing. So the principle of movement is applicable here. Now what is the principle of movement? So which states that the movement of resultant of system of forces about an axis is equal to the sum of moment of the component about the same axis. So in short, this total pressure F into the depth h bar, this is one moment, this is resultant moment, and we have to equate this moment with the sum of the moment of the component, right? Sum of moment of component means that is the integration. We have to integrate with the this strip delta F into x. So it is at a distance x, so we have to integrate both the things. Now integration of the delta F into x. So delta F is nothing but gamma x into delta A into x. So it will become x square. So as the density is constant, so it is gamma integration x square dA. Now remember this integration x square dA, it is called as the second moment of area. It is called as second moment of area of the strip about axis O dash, right? So therefore this integration x square dA is now written as f into h bar is equal to, so gamma remains same, it is constant, and integration x square dA is now moment of inertia about O dash. I is nothing but it is moment of inertia, right? So moment of inertia about O dash axis. So therefore this I, that is moment of inertia about O dash, we have to again write in different aspect, that is using the parallel axis theorem. This I_O dash is written as moment of inertia about centroid Ig plus area into distance square, that is this parallel axis theorem, right? So why the parallel axis theorem is applicable here? Because the moment of inertia of the fluid and moment of inertia of the surface will not coincide with each other. Therefore here we have to use the parallel axis theorem. Both the centroid for fluid and for the surface, the centroid we have to coincide. So that is using that will be using the moment of inertia, that is mi I_O dash is equal to Ig plus Ax bar. So instead of this we have written as Ig, that is moment of inertia of surface, whatever surface is applicable here, plus area of the surface into distance square. So whatever will be the distance, that's a square. So distance is x bar, right? So you have to take the moment of inertia about this g axis, right? If it is a rectangular plate, moment of inertia will be different. If it is square, if it is circular, right? So depending upon the geometry, we have to find out moment of inertia about the centroid plus area into distance square. So now the distance will be x bar, so x bar the square. So the same equation is now write down this equation. H bar is equal to x bar plus Ig upon Ax bar. So this is the final equation, final expression to find the center of pressure, that is the position of this total pressure force. So the total pressure force F will be acting at depth h bar. This much will be the depth of this total pressure force which is acting. So here in this expression you can see that it is x bar plus this, right? So always the h bar will lies below the centroid, below the x bar, remember. So therefore here you can see that the expression is x bar plus something, that is Ig upon Ax bar. So this will give you the center of pressure. H bar is equal to x bar plus Ig upon Ax bar. Now to find h bar, what we have to see here. To find h bar, first of all we have to see what is x bar. X bar is nothing but, so जो surface चा centroid आहे, so तो centroid from the free liquid surface किती depth वरती आहे, that is x bar. Then second thing, Ig is moment of inertia about G is the centroid. So जो काही surface दिलेला आहे, rectangular, square, trapezoidal, circular, any particular geometrical shape, we have to find the moment of inertia of that surface with respect to this G point, that is moment of inertia about horizontal axis, that is Ig. Then area of the given surface, and again the x bar. So with this you can find what is the position, what is the depth h bar for the total pressure force to be act, right? So the total pressure force will be, the h bar will be always below, it lies always below the x bar part. So x bar plus this much will be the addition in x bar, that is Ig upon Ax bar. Getting? So this is the center of pressure for vertical plane surface. Now similarly, the third derivation, now just a little bit it is different. Now here, as you can see that it is a inclined surface, right? It is a inclined surface. So the dark portion is a inclined surface of a random surface, any random surface. So this inclination is theta with the free liquid surface, right? Now over this inclined surface, again we will be considering one strip, just the previous, as the previous, in previous discussion, previous derivative, we have considered a small strip. Same thing we will be discussing here. So a small strip of width b and thickness delta h or delta x is considered. Now this strip is at depth x, the centroid, that is CG of this particular surface, is at depth x bar. Then at this P point, center of pressure, the total pressure force will be acting. You can see here it is denoted as P, or you can denote it as F also. So the total pressure will be acting at this point, that is this point is H bar, right? X bar is centroid, H bar is center of pressure. So here the total pressure force will be acting. We have to find these two things. We have to derive the formula for these two things, the total pressure and center of pressure with respect to all other remaining parameter. Now it is inclined at theta with the free liquid surface. Suppose this is O, this is origin. We'll consider that this is origin. So with respect to this point, we'll be measuring now the sloping length. Now the sloping length is y for the strip, then y bar for the centroid where the depth is x bar, and the sloping length for the center of pressure, that is h bar, it is yp. Okay, so this is only the addition. The sloping length, the inclined length is considered here. Now with respect to this inclined length, we will be finding this particularly h bar and the center, the total pressure, right? So this is the case. Let x bar be the depth of the surface from the free liquid. Now here slightly it is written as horizontal, but here it is inclined surface. Make it inclined surface. Y is the inclined distance. So this is the inclined distance y of the centroid from OO axis. It is y bar. Then P is the pressure and rho is the density. So y, here it is y bar, right? So y bar is inclined distance of centroid from OO axis. So this y bar is for x bar, yp is for h bar, and y is for x. So the inclined distances are written for these all cases. So consider a small strip of area dA lying at a depth x and its distance from OO being y, right? So we are considering this strip, small strip of area dA. So this small strip is at depth x from the free liquid surface, where the sloping inclined length is y, that is written in this line. Consider on the plane a small strip of area dA lying at vertical depth. So vertical depth is x and inclined is y, inclined distance is y. So therefore pressure on this strip is same, it is gamma into x or rho gx, right? So the total pressure, now what will be the total pressure over this entire, particularly entire strip, is nothing but dp is equal to pressure into dA. So area is dA, that is gamma x into dA, right? Now this x, as it is a vertical surface, right? So now what we can write instead of this x, we can, instead of this x, we can write in terms of this y and in terms of this theta, because for inclined surface, this particularly x, to find this x, it is difficult, but we can see, we can easily find what is y, that is inclined in distance y. So with respect to inclined distance and with respect to theta, we have to replace this x. So the trigonometry part is here, that is x is nothing but it is y sine theta. So therefore the total pressure on the strip delta P is gamma x is y sine theta into dA. Now integrating the above expression, that is total pressure on the entire surface. So by integrating we can find what is total pressure, right? So integrating the above expression, that is integration gamma y sine theta dA. So gamma sine theta is constant, integration y dA. So total pressure is gamma, delta A is total area, surface area is A, and it is y bar sine theta. So integration of y is nothing but it is y bar. So limits for this is again the maximum we have to go up to centroid, that is y bar. So from 0 to y bar, these are the limits. So the maximum limit is y bar. So the total pressure is nothing but P or F, anything, that is gamma A y bar sine theta. Now this y bar sine theta is nothing but, what is y bar sine theta? Trigonometry relation. So y bar sine theta is nothing but it is related with the depth, vertical depth, that is x bar. So the formula is again here it is same. So the total pressure is equal to gamma A y bar sine theta is nothing but x bar. Now the third formula is also same for total pressure in case of inclined. So total pressure is gamma A x bar. So all the three cases the total pressure remains same. Remember, whether it is horizontal, vertical or inclined. So you take any surface, horizontal,